Hello everyone, very good morning. You are watching my YouTube channel CloudX India. So guys, in today's topic, I am going to cover Amazon Network Infrastructure Part 3. Okay, and apart from this guys, so I'll just give in brief introduction about my channel. So this is newly created channel and I am uploading videos related to AWS, Azure, Oracle, okay, also on premises, AD and VMware. Okay, currently the on-premises Active Directory and VMware is in my least priority, okay. But I'm preparing the videos about the cloud and Azure and AWS is ongoing. OCI is scheduled. Okay, so as I said, so today's I'm talking about the network infrastructure, Amazon network infrastructure part 3. I already uploaded 2 videos. You can go and watch it. And guys, if you did not subscribe my channel, please do subscribe to get to know like latest update of cloud related topics, okay. And you will learn. It's a kind of free learning website. You can learn it, you can subscribe it, learn it and share with your friend, okay. And guys, also do comment in the comment section bar so that I can get to know your feedback. It will really help me to improve the quality of video, okay, and help me to prepare the more video for your knowledge, okay. So guys, it's all about knowledge sharing. So do not stop knowledge sharing. Subscribe and share with your friend. So let's not wait and begin. So the first thing is the agenda, guys. So in my agenda, I have multiple things, okay, which is I already covered in my last 2 sessions, and that is really very interesting from beginning to end. You can understand how does it work, okay. And today's I am going to talk about the net. And in the last session, I have prepared some questions, okay, which help you to prepare better and effective interview, okay. Interview, you can prepare for the interview and you can see the like I have a scenario based question as well, right, which help you to create the lab and solve the problem, okay. So let's not wait and begin. So the first thing is, what is NAT gateway? Since I'm going to talk about the NAT gateway, so the NAT, as per the name, it's a network address translator or translation. So what does it do? It simply convert the private IP into public and public into the private. So how does it work? Suppose you have deploy a virtual machine, or take an example. Suppose you reach in office, right? So once you do IP config, you see you will have a private IP address, but you connect to the internet. And guys, a private IP cannot be routable over the internet, right? But you access the internet on daily basis. How does it work? It work because of the NAT gateway. So what happened once you place a request, like make a request google.com, so you reach to the NAT gateway. NAT gateway has a public IP address assigned to it. It may be a single IP address or a pool of public IP address. So it convert your private IP address over the public IP address and send request to the Google or Yahoo, whatever you are accessing. And then once it receive the response, it again convert this public into the private and send back request to your virtual machine. Okay. So this is the work of NAT gateway. It is very simple. Okay. So, and also there are few things which you have to focus. NAT gateway must be deployed in public subnet. Okay, so I'll talk what is public subnet. Make sure to use one elastic IP address. So as I said, NAT gateway should have a public IP address so that it can convert your private over the public. So you have to assign one elastic IP address. NAT converts private into public. Of course, this is already discussed. NAT gateway represent to entire private IP address. Okay, so if you have a private subnet and you route it to the NAT gateway, to it represent to the whole subnet, not a single IP address. It doesn't expose your system over the internet. Of course, suppose as I said, you send request to the NAT gateway, it translate into the public and send over the internet. It means it never sent or expose your IP address over the internet. So your system is very secure if you are using the NAT gateway, and every organization follow it. So let's not wait, guys. Let's do the lab. And I have a scenario here. I have created a workflow. Okay, so in this workflow, you can see I have a VPC and two availability zone A and availability zone B. I have four subnet. Okay, so one private, one public, and for availability zone A, and one private, one public for availability zone B. Okay, so this is associated with this. Okay, so before going ahead, guys, so I have to we have to understand what is private subnet, what is public subnet. Any subnet which is pointing to, or which routing is pointing to the IGW, is known as public subnet. Any subnet which routing is pointing to NAT is known as the private subnet. Okay, so what how does it work? You can watch my previous video. Okay, VPC part 2. So in that I have explained about this one. Okay, guys, so as you can see, right, so this is my the whole environment. Okay, and I have deploy a virtual machine under the public subnet, and there is one more virtual machine in availability zone B, which is in private subnet. And suppose if this virtual machine want to communicate to this virtual machine, so how does it communicate? So this is your virtual router, your VPC. Once you create a VPC, it create a local root. Okay, and any virtual machine can directly communicate to the other virtual machine either inside the same availability zone or different availability zone with the help of your virtual router and this local route. Okay, and also I have another scenario. Suppose if you want to access google.com, as I said, you want to access the google.com, then what do you have to do? Or you want to access the microsoft.com. Take an example. So you deploy your virtual machine into the private subnet. You do not want to expose your VM so that anyone can connect over the internet. You really do not want to allow anyone to connect your virtual machine over the internet. But you want to connect the google.com, microsoft.com for day-to-day activity maybe, or for patching related things. Suppose this is Windows server, you have to patch it, or database server, you have to patch it. Okay, and for the patching you definitely you have to go over the internet, right? So how will you reach to the internet? Okay, so the first thing, as I said, you don't want to expose your virtual machine over internet, but you want to access the internet. So first of all, you have to deploy your virtual machine under the private, which I already did it. Okay, the second thing, you have to create a IGW as well to achieve this one. Okay, and for the IGW you have to create a route table. Your all public subnet will be part of this public route table, and in public route table I'll create a route table which is 000/0 means any request apart from 10 will send to the IGW. Okay, here, so this is for the public subnet. Okay, but I'm not talking about the public subnet, I'm talking about the private subnet. If you want to access the internet from private subnet, how will you access it? Okay, so for this, as I said, I have to create a NAT gateway. So you have to create a NAT gateway, and when you create a NAT gateway, make sure you deploy the NAT gateway inside the public subnet. So NAT gateway always deploy inside the public subnet. So once you deploy the NAT gateway, it create a uh, interface, network interface card, right? So from this public network, it get a IP address, a private IP address, and then you have to create an elastic IP address and associate it. So elastic IP address give it public IP address, and from this it will give a private IP address. So what it does, so it always communicate, NAT gateway always communicate to your virtual machine over the private IP address and convert it into the public and send over the internet. Okay, how will it send the over the internet? So it definitely look a gateway which is directly connected to the internet. And in whole this diagram, IGW is the only way which help you to exit from this environment over the internet. Okay, so that is the reason, as I said, this NAT gateway must be deployed inside the public subnet, And if you see into this table, so public route table is pointing to IGW. The first thing you have to follow, you have to deploy a NAT gateway inside the public subnet, and the public subnet route must be pointing to IGW. This is two things you have to consider and focus. Second, you have to create an elastic IP address and assign to NAT gateway so that it will receive a public IP address. So once you complete this one, the next part what you have to do, you have to create a route table. Why again a route table? This is a local route table. I'll not use it. This is a public route table which is directly pointing to internet gateway, and I do not want to expose my virtual machine to route directly over the IGW. The next thing, I'll create another route. As I said, any subnet which route table is routing to the NAT gateway is a private and secure. So what we have to do, we have to create another private route table. Okay, and under this private route table, create a route 000/0 and point to the NAT. What happened? So if you want to access internet, as I said, no one can, in this situation, no one can access your system over the internet, but you can access the internet. Suppose you want to access the MS site for the patching, you want to access, suppose this is Oracle database, you have deployed a patch component as well here, right? And you want to do the patching. Okay, so in this situation what happens, so when you want to type msmicrosoft.com here over this system and connect to the Microsoft, so it will first of all go into the route table. Okay, into the route table, look what is your request. You will say microsoft.com. So first route table, check inside the first route 1000. Okay, so Microsoft doesn't belong to this, so it will send your request. What is next? So it will say okay 000/0. Okay, it means apart from 10, any request should send to the 00, which is pointing to the NAT gateway. And what happens, so once you reach to the NAT gateway has another routing. What does it do? First of all, it convert your request from private to the public IP address, what elastic IP address you have assigned to it. It convert to it and reach to where? Directly IGW and connect you over the internet. So guys, this is a very simple and very straightforward. Okay, let's follow the step by step what I am doing here. So and remember the theory, you can write down if you feel that there is any point you need to write down on your notepad, please do it. Okay, so that's all workflow I have. And let's not wait and do the practical. Okay, so here I have created 4 subnet. Okay, so first 2 subnet is a part of route table this. Okay, so I have created a route table here. So let me open this one. So as I said, in this route table, I have added 2 subnet, and these 2 subnet are public subnet. Okay, and this route table, I'm pointing this to over the where IGW Internet Gateway. And what is my Internet Gateway is? This is my Internet Gateway, which is attached to the VPC. Okay, this is I already created. So to do this practical, first of all, what you have to do, you have to create a route table first. Okay, and then add your both private subnet into the route table. So let's do one thing. Let's create a route table first and name it CloudX private. Select the VPC, create it, and then what you have to do, you have to attach or associate your private subnet. So we subnet any subnet which is started with PRI, like in the last PRI. So click here, click on subnet, edit subnet section, and if you see the private is associated with the main, we have to change it, select it, and click on save. So once you do this, you will see it comes under the private subnet. Next, we have to create the route, but before route, we have to create the NAT gateway because in the route, as I said, we'll point a route to the NAT gateway. So before pointing to NAT, we have to create a NAT gateway first. So let's create the NAT gateway as well. So I'm creating a duplicate console here. Okay, so in the NAT gateway in the sub this console, you can see NAT gateway is here. So click on the NAT gateway and then select the public subnet with the name you can find here. Okay, so this is my public subnet and create a elastic IP address. We don't have it, so click on create. It's a created one. Create a NAT gateway. Don't add it anything. So it's a pending. Okay, so give a name CloudX net. So it will take some time to deploy a NAT gateway. Okay, so once it deploy, you can see, okay, how does it work. So before till the time it's deploying, I'll give some brief information. So since it is deployed under the subnet, your public subnet dev pub, okay, so from this subnet it receive one IP address, private IP address 10.0.0, sorry, 10.0.70.195, and also it has a elastic IP address. Okay, so which elastic IP address, it will take some time to represent it here. So once it complete, you will see it here. Okay, so apart from this, to complete this practical, you need two virtual machine, which I already deployed it here. Okay, so one is in public and other one is private. So I'll not add the route first. What I will do, I will connect my public virtual machine first. Okay, and then see how does it work. Okay, and from the public, since I do not have VPN connection, so I cannot directly connect my private virtual machine. So I'll connect my private from the public virtual machine. So this public virtual machine work as a you can say jump box. Okay, so I'll copy the IP address. Oh, so MSTSC. So let me repeat again. So I'm going to connect this public virtual machine first. Okay, and then from this public virtual machine, I'll connect to this private virtual machine. Let me do one thing. I'll create a paint in a real quick. I'll create fill some color here. Okay, and give a name public. Okay, I hope. Okay, the public, and I'll save it. Where is my desktop? Oh, where is, I don't know where it's gone. Okay, no worry, guys. So okay, so this is my public virtual machine. Okay, and from this public virtual machine, I'll connect my private virtual machine and see whether I'm able to access internet or not. Okay, so this is my private virtual machine. So private, I see I do not have any public IP address. So I'll connect this virtual machine from this public virtual machine. I'll do the MSTSC. It's quite slow. MSTSC. Come on, guys. Okay, let's paste it, connect it until the time it come up. I'll copy the password of it. Okay, the name is administrator and password is this. So guys, this is my private virtual machine. So you can see I'm inside my private virtual machine. I'll minimize the console. Okay, wait a minute. Personalize. I'm seeing if I can set any color. Okay. So guys, I changed the background. Okay. The background, this one, the beautiful girls running and there is a mountain. Okay. So this is my private. Okay. And this is my, the other one is my public one. So now I'm trying to access internet from my private private what private virtual machine. So just type google.com. You can see there is no response. I can also do one thing, ping google.com/t. There is no response. The reason why there is no response, and if I try from the public, I can access it. So this is from public. If I click here, google.com, click, 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 close. So from public, I can access it, okay? But not from my private, okay? The reason, because I do not have a NAT gateway associated with my private subnet, okay? So first thing, as I said, I was waiting for NAT gateway to create. It's available, and you can say, as I said, the elastic IP address, it will receive on public. It received it, okay, and it has a private IP address. Now it's a time to create the route table. So route, I have created a route table. Now we have to do the routing. So in my private route table, as you said, like as you seen, I have added this private subnet. So let's go into the route, click on edit, add route 0, 0, 0, 0/0. I said apart from this, any requests go to the NAT gateway. And what NAT gateway? Which I have created. So now I have created NAT gateway, and let's try, see the first thing. Okay, so it start pinging. The second thing, if I go back to my window, so it's automatically refreshing it, right? So click here, and too fast. .com. Very slow. You can see it's a pinging, so it will be accessible, but it's showing very slow today. Wow, it's accessible now. So guys, see, it's accessible now. Okay, so from my private virtual machine, okay, it's a very simple, practical. So create a NAT gateway, create a route table, point the routes to the NAT gateway and access it. Okay, create two virtual machines since you do not have the public VPN connection. So first log in into the public virtual machine, then connect your private from the public virtual machine, create a NAT, create a route table, and then point it to the NAT and access it. Guys, it's a very simple and very interesting topic, right? So please do the practical, okay, and follow all this step what I have followed, okay. So in the next, let's see, as I said, I have some questions prepared. So these are the questions. You can pause the video, okay, and write down all the questions. So the next question is, you can see the another questions I have prepared. And also this is a scenario. I have created two scenario for you. Okay. So pause the video, write down it on your notepad and follow the step. Okay, guys. Guys, thanks for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe and share with your friend, and also share your feedback. Thanks.